So here we are at the base camp by the Laguna Ochco. So we're about 5,200 meters or so. Like, this would have been an ideal base camp. I mean, the scenery, access to these peaks, and just the really good bouldering. I mean, there's a great stash of boulders right here. You could just wake up, go bouldering, and then hump a load to ABC or whatever. But anyway, the long and the short of it is we've been here a little bit longer than 2 weeks. The burros could not make it up to Ochco here because there was no trail. Had some issues with water also, with getting the burros watered and so on. So anyway, we did the base camp down in the valley, about, I don't know, must be 2,000 feet lower in elevation. And originally, Mick and I wanted to attempt a route on this aspect of Huascarán behind me. And one of the things is the glaciers have been drying up. A lot of this is due to climate change. And so just to cross a dry glacier that no longer has ice, it's like doing this weird, loose kind of minefield of talus the size of your fist to house-sized blocks. Really easy to break a leg, and it's just incredibly time-consuming and tedious. Having gotten a look at the glacier below Huascarán, it's just a real mess, and it's really dangerous. And all the rock and ice fall that we've heard while up here, 99% of it comes off of Huascarán. And so, after attempting to establish base camp here, we decided on one down below. The access and view of the mountains from our base camp made us decide to attempt this unclimbed east face of Chopacalqui instead. So behind me you can see kind of the line through the central kind of triangular face. Yesterday we just got down after spending probably a 6-day round trip reconnoitering the approach, establishing an ABC, and then we probably did 3 solid days of climbing on the face. I think if you add it up from where the glacier starts to the summit, we probably got 2/3 of the way up. We did run out of food, which was a real factor. The weather was changing, which made me really nervous, and the fresh snow still on the face there from 4 or 5 days of storm, that really made the climbing brutal. I mean, when you hit Andean climbing right, you're either climbing in someone's steps or you're climbing neve. You can move really fast even with a heavy pack. This stuff is like wading through corn and sugar and breaking the crust, and also finding limited protection options. So not only was it exciting and kind of dangerous, there's objects falling down, there's these avalanches coming down. But the main thing was it's just the style of climbing is brutal.
We've all heard that old saying that Eskimos have 100 names for snow. Looking back, the Incans must have had dozens of names, because on a peak like this you have solid water ice, you got this ancient glacial ice, you got this stuff that feels like styrofoam every time you whack your tool into it, and you also get these weird atmospheric rime things and these shapes that look like gargoyles. But what we found most of up there was the nasty stuff, and it was this deep, bottomless sugar snow. It just felt like wading through molasses. So in a 6-day round trip, we experienced dangerous avalanche conditions, falling ice. Nick even got hit by a pretty nice chunk of ice. We also had to wade through deep debris left by the heavy storms. We also ran out of food, which forced us to retreat about 4 pitches from the summit ridge. It's kind of a bummer, but we all know that alpinism is a gamble. We know the suffering is great. We know that the rewards are few, but when it's good, it's the best.